when I was in a meeting with a prominent American Muslim leader, an activist, who broke down in tears, explaining how she had received a death threat. She got a letter in the mail, and the letter threatened to kill her young girls. And that letter included an image of her living room with 2 X's on it, and it said, "This is where your kids play." I want you to imagine receiving a note like this because of your day job. This is the pain, stress, and anxiety that many of our leaders encounter on a regular basis. I'm reminded of scholars and intellectuals who spend their lives studying religion and trying to build bridges of understanding while working on meager stipends and fellowships. And one day, after spending 30, 40, 50 years building bridges and supporting communities, they make one statement that is displeasing and are ridiculed, and their decades of scholarship are reduced to a soundbite. There is no rally of support for them. Instead, they're isolated and left to fend for themselves. And I know that these individuals are capable of engaging in rigorous academic debate, but the personal attacks and on their families, they leave deep scars. And at times, what's even more painful is that these attacks come from within our communities. I'm also reminded of the sacrifices of allies to Muslim communities. A woman who spent 2 decades of her life, prime of her career, working day and night between her full-time job, raising 3 kids, and defending Muslims post 9/11. And when instead she could have been climbing the corporate ladders and reaping financial rewards, she had to navigate not only Islamophobes, funder challenges, but also intra-community dynamics and infighting, having her loyalties and intentions questioned constantly by both the mainstream and the marginalized. Not an easy path to tread. So, as I concluded this late night, I could see this man nod in agreement. He too could recall his own war stories of serving in a leadership role and how the attacks, the isolation, and the silence of bystanders can leave you battered, bruised, and kicked to the curb. But you know, overcoming adversity is only one side of the proverbial coin. We know in our communities that it's easier to rally support against something in protest than to galvanize energy in support for something that you stand for. In other words, building is harder than tearing down. Having an affirmative agenda is harder than being reactionary. Long-term commitment with consistent effort is harder than spontaneous episodic action. So why the Peace of Boards? Why show up tonight? Because we need to send a message to our leaders that you're not alone when someone threatens you and your family, that we respect your intellectual capacity and contributions, that your allyship does not go unrecognized, and that we are creating a culture of gratitude. That's what tonight's about. It's not a fundraiser, it's a night of gratitude. And it's a night to celebrate and to amplify stories of resilience. It's a night to celebrate building, a night to hold our leaders in a warm embrace of love and support. So thank you all for being here tonight.